ladies and gentlemen, you are officially watching Loading Snacks Weekly live.
Oh
I'm your
yeah.
boy Gage. Sin is in the building. No, wait, Sin is in his building.
Yes.
I keep Sin is in his building, right?
Absolutely.
Jokes, you're in your building.
I'm
I
in
can't
my
see you,
building.
Jokes, and I hate it. I hate it that I can't see you. And we got special guest Gina is joining us. Welcome back, Gina.
Hey, thanks for
How you
having me.
feeling?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
How are
what's
you?
up. I mean, I'm same as normal. I'm always okay,
I
generally
hear
speaking.
that.
I'm always okay, generally speaking. Thank you for joining us. Greatly appreciate it. You know, I know it's kind of crazy right now. How are you holding up, all things considered, with the Corona madness, the COVID-19 and 20? Where how you
I
doing?
mean, we're doing really good. I have a lot to keep me busy. I haven't been bored yet. Before this, as you know, I was like way behind everybody else watching movies and TV shows and that sort of thing.
Mm,
So I've had plenty to keep up with. Can't complain.
you good to go.
Yeah.
I dig that. So listen, for those of you who are watching, again, this is Loading Snacks Weekly, and this is where we get together once a week and we talk about things that are happening in pop culture. And today,
Today?
Yeah.
we are most certainly going to talk about some things that are happening in pop culture. However, before we get too deep into this, curveball.
I knew it.
Dang, already in the
The look
beginning.
on his
Like,
face.
Listen,
Like,
no,
here it
now
comes.
here's
Get
the
a
thing.
wind up.
This is a special curveball, and I'm going to tell you why. Because last week's curveball was incredible. It was incredible. So for those who didn't catch the end of last week's show, at the end of last week's show, the curveball was you are joining the Ninja Turtles. Okay? What animal are you? What color is your bandana? What is your weapon of choice? And which turtle is your mentor? Right? Which there was a curveball. There was a curveball to the curveball. We talked about
it was.
Splinter and like you sit down for your first evaluation and like what is he gonna say is your problem? We're not even getting that far. Okay. I want to start by saying that last week Sin tried to steal the show by choosing a polar bear.
Left field.
He tried. It was just that it came real quick. It was just like,
Oh, he has that
hey, so look,
bottle of
you joined the
Ninja
Ninja
Turtle
Turtles.
came
What's
out.
your animal? Polar bear?
Shut up.
Really? All right. But Jokes decided he was gonna go off on some mystical fantasy.
Oh, I was about to
I'm gonna
build
be
the
like
whole
a lizard
story.
dragon,
Hey,
like a lizard dragon.
build the whole
A
story
what?
out of it.
It's not a real animal, dog. That's not a real thing.
That's only for you to ask him what is his favorite animal. Oh, a tiger. Like what?
Right. So why are you being a lizard? But then he said,
No,
and
because
I
you were
quote,
making fun of when I said that, and I was like, Tiger, you was like,
no,
that's literally
no,
what you did.
no. The reason why I was making fun of you is because you said no one's ever asked me what my favorite animal is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Slim, you're 30 years old. Nobody ever asked you
I've never had that
what's
question.
your
No.
favorite animal?
Favorite TV, favorite color, favorite
I don't
food.
believe that. I don't believe
Nobody ever asked you
To
what your
be
favorite
fair,
animal was.
If I got
you don't
asked,
ask that question often.
yeah, and maybe I was a young child. I don't remember. Like, I don't know. Whatever.
Curveball, Gina,
Mm-hmm.
you're joining the Ninja Turtles.
Mm.
What animal are you?
Mm. Can it be an insect?
See, he tried to do that to me. He was like, we know you're going to pick a spider. I'm like, a spider's not an animal. But you know what? At this point, sure, it could be an insect. What is it?
Roach.
A roach. Now, I'm not in before before we go too far and I ask you why a roach and we start talking about radiation and surviving nuclear fallouts and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Because I'm not even sure if roaches can survive nuclear fallout if the mutagen that changed them into mutant turtles would work on a
Hey.
roach. A roach might survive that and just be like,
Right,
ooh,
just
that was
like-
tasty. I'm good.
That's all you got.
But you know they've adapted. They're very adaptable. They have that hard exoskeleton. You know,
Mm.
turtles they have a shorter surface area for their shell, whole
Mhm.
body shell. I don't even.
I dig that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what color is your bandana?
Orange.
Orange. You stole Michelangelo's bandana.
Michelangelo will be my mentor.
And Mikey would be your mentor. Now, is there a particular reason why you picked Mikey as your mentor?
Um, Only because I remember when I was a kid and I watched Ninja Turtles, he was my favorite.
Okay.
So I didn't
So
really
you would
keep
pick
up
him.
with the other ones. Yeah, that's my guy.
Okay. What about your weapon of choice?
All right. Relatively, I'm prepared for that one. I mean, I feel like I should just be able, if I have 6 legs and I'm using 4 of them like hands, I should be able to use my hands as a weapon. It's like the crazy
Oh,
Get
she
Mike
just
these
straight up
Tyson
hands.
hand in
rotate.
hand.
Get these hands.
Oh, all right. Oh, okay. She like, nah, I'm not gonna go to General Grievous and
I
have
was
like
about
4
to say the
lightsabers.
same thing.
I'm just gonna hold you tight and serve you with these hands like I'm Goro
Grab
Right.
of Mortal Kombat.
Let's do this.
All right. So I am going to throw this curveball at you. I didn't do this when I posted this on Facebook, but I am going to throw this at you. So you are now sitting down with Master Splinter and you are having your first evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
What does Master Splinter say is your biggest problem? What do you need to overcome?
My biggest problem is I'm trying to find another one because the one that's coming to mind
Trying to
is
find a
like,
new problem?
tell them you're petty and you don't get over small stuff. Like that would
I
probably
mean,
be
that sounds like Raphael.
I
Raphael's
mean,
pretty petty.
Yeah.
sometimes it's the small things that you got to deal with the most. It's the principle.
Okay. So the small things. You got to learn to let the small things go.
Mm-hmm.
Big rocks versus little rocks. You got to learn to look at the big rocks.
Yeah. I
Okay.
personally feel like you should approach all rocks, but
Sure.
I think Master Splinter would probably disagree.
He would be like, some rocks hurt more than others. Probably when they come at you.
True.
All right. Respect. Before we go further, I'm just going to read to you guys some of the responses I got.
Yeah, that
When I
that was
posted
going
this.
on for a while. I
Yeah.
saw it, and it was
Oh,
almost.
yeah. So listen. So Mari said she would be an otter. Purple bandana, shuriken, and would choose Donatello. I'm with that.
Okay.
I mean, let's see. Mike Slade
Uh-oh.
said he would be human because that's how it works. I mean, which
That's
kind
a
of
Mike
expect that
Slade
kind of
answer.
answer from
That's
Mike.
a Mike Slade answer right
He
there.
said a white bandana and a lightsaber. Screw you, this is my show. And he picked me. Facts. Let's see. My cousin Mike said, bro, that's easy. I am also a turtle. Black bandana, since red and royal blue are gone, and I gotta be different. He's using a crossbow, and he's got Raphael as his mentor. I dig that.
Not mad at that one.
Let's see. My homie Eddie said a panther, green bandana, 2 battle axes, and Leo.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man, there's some good answers in here.
It is.
I just want you to know. Zach said
Oh, man.
shark, white bandana, hidden blades, Raphael. So I'm like, oh, you just gonna be street sharks from Assassin's Creed.
Right.
How you feel? Yeah. He was not the only person who said street shark, by the way.
Oh wow.
Listen, Ben Parker. No, not Spider-Man's father, Ben
Right.
Parker.
That's gonna be a problem.
Said a ferret, dark green, dual stiletto daggers, Raphael. Hey, listen, man, I'm not.
A little ferret, that could be annoying.
I'm just a ferret. Absolutely.
That could be annoying.
Absolutely. Greg Morris, who is always in our comments and so forth, he said white tiger, stole that joint from you, jokes. Orange bandana, weapon of choice would be a sword and a shield, Donatello. It was a lot of people who picked Donatello, which I feel, because that's my homie right there.
Oh, yeah. Favorite turtle.
Let's see. Rob, good old sound savvy Phillips, pulled the jokes on us. I mutated with the mythical red-eyed black mountain lion. The what? Rob?
Hey, he's trying to form a story.
Gray bandana,
Okay.
a scream of sticks. I like that. And Donnie. My brother, good old Spade, a sheepdog. Listen, a sheepdog with these hands,
Okay.
Hands has been common.
and he's Raphael's understudy because I'm not calculated and I don't talk much. And
Okay.
of course, the homie Ali, good old Mr. Infinity,
Okay.
a chameleon. Because if you remember the chameleons from back in the day, my man had a whole storyline about the chameleons. A chameleon, green bandana with brown stripes, because why wouldn't you decorate your
Okay.
bandana? Weapon is twin bamboo poles that can be used to spit darts. Again, we're getting a
Woo!
little, you know,
Woo!
mentors Donatello. And he writes rhymes in haiku. I can't, I just,
Love you,
anyway, look.
Mr. Kennedy.
That was a little fun. That was the curveball. Let's get into the actual show. Y'all ready to do this?
Let's
Yeah,
do
let's
it.
go.
All right. So look. So
Let's go.
today, what we really want to talk about, since everybody is almost still on lockdown, we getting some freedom, y'all. Some people are getting some freedom. I'm not quite ready for freedom yet. I just want y'all to know.
I am with you on that one.
I can wait it out.
I am one who will not be at the beach with you guys. I probably wouldn't be at the beach with you anyway, but I will not be at the beach with y'all. But why it is that we think it's better to watch stuff you've already seen while we're on lockdown and in quarantine than try to watch something new. So before I get into what I think, I'm gonna pass the buck. I'm gonna start with you, Sin.
Okay.
Yeah, you feel special? You like me?
I get to go.
Me? The polar bear? Yes, you do.
There's a few reasons why I would watch something that I've already seen rather than something new. If I'm having a bad mental health day, certain shows just kind of help me get out of that I would usually go to in those type of times. So that's one reason.
Respect.
Another reason, like right now, I'm watching something to refresh before I go watch the newer seasons that I haven't seen yet. Like right now, I'm currently watching Westworld because I want to watch the third season now that it's over, so I'm refreshing myself with the first two. But those are the two biggest reasons for me why I would watch something that I've already seen before,
Okay.
rather than something new.
Okay. Gina, talk to me.
I like Sin's answer. You know what to expect with Netflix original movies. Those tend to fall somewhere just out the middle. The plot completely just disappears. The movie ends. If you're already having a bad day, you already know where you need to go in order to feel better. So I have my go-tos for that. And to that same point, the other day, I let Tubi, the streaming service,
Yeah.
just play something for me. And when I tell you, it was probably the most sad movie I've ever seen. It was like Paul Walker. It took place in Hurricane Katrina.
Oh, out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was
Out.
just
Yeah.
like, what is this? I had to go watch Toy Story 4 to feel better. But
Wait, Toy Story 4 didn't make you cry?
no.
Not
Toy
even
Story
a
4
little
is,
bit.
you know what? Maybe I need to go and rewatch it because now that you just said that,
Yeah.
I don't remember the end at all.
Okay.
Well.
Okay.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
need
All
to
right.
take him.
No spoilers here.
Yeah.
Joke.
I mean, yeah, literally, kind of what they both said. Like I like to go back and watch, like depending on like the type of mood I'm in. Especially if I want to watch something funny. You know, a movie may come out and say, "Hey, this is new. It's supposed to be a comedy," but depending on the actors and type of thing, may not come off as funny to me. So I don't want to say it may be like a waste of time that I watched it. But I like to have that feeling of knowing what I'm going into, and then really same thing like Sin said, trying to catch up. So if like a new season or something is out and it's like maybe I haven't watched the show maybe for like a season or two, trying to jump back into it, that kind of gives you that refresher. And there's always that fact that you may notice something that you didn't notice before. And that happens from time to time when you watch a certain show. It is just like, hold up, such and such happened. That explains this. Got it now.
Right.
And that's always a good feeling. Plus, you're gonna sit there and watch things like classics. Like when you know certain thing, you just watch it and it just hits a certain way. It's like I gotta watch this again.
Right. It's gonna make you feel good. Yeah, I mean, I think all of you kind of hit it on the head. For me, I think one of the best reasons is comfort food. Right? Like the things that you enjoy, you can put it on and just feel comfortable, right?
Yep.
Like I don't know about y'all, but for me, I get anxious sometimes when I'm watching something new. Doesn't necessarily have to be something that's scary or something like that, but it's that what's that next thing that's coming. And so when I already know what's going on, it's just easier for me to enjoy it. And with all the things that are happening and maybe the things that are going on in your own head or whatever, I do think that there's something special about being able to go back and just watch stuff that you remember watching when you were a kid or you have fond memories of or whatever it is. um but I also think for me specifically, for
Mhm.
me to go back and watch stuff that's old to me but it's like new to my kids,
Hmm.
I think
Mhm.
is so special. um and I don't really mind them making fun of me for liking stuff that was good when I was a kid, but like now I can appreciate that it's not good now, but it's still good to me.
Right.
Right.
Old stuff, Flight of the Navigator.
Oof.
I mean, I really like that movie, but that it don't really hold up. It
It ain't
don't
hit the
really
same
hold up.
way.
You know what I mean? Like it's not quite, what it was. So I think, yeah, the ability to kind of introduce my kids to stuff that, even if it's like an older version or an original version of something that they are familiar with. You know what I mean? To kind of be able to say like, well, this is where it came from, or this is what came first. I think is really cool. And again, it's just easier than trying to. I also am trying to get other things done a lot of the time. So I'm working on something else. A lot of people are working from home, so it's easier to like put something on that you don't necessarily have to be looking at the screen or paying to every specific detail of. You can still kind of get things done, and it just kind of plays in the background, and it's just kind of comfortable to you because you know what it is. There are movies I've watched enough times that like I can see in my head what's going on screen when I
Right.
hear what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I think that's one of those good reasons to do that too. So
Also in the
having
vein
said,
you were saying with
what's
like,
that?
also in the vein you were saying like watching stuff like with the kids who've never seen it before. I'll do that with like anime. Like somebody who hasn't seen it before, sit down like, oh, you never seen this, and watch the whole thing, just waiting to see their reaction to certain stuff.
Mhm.
I'll do with that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Having said that, let's run down a couple of examples. What do we think of some good things, some good go tos, some old homegrown that we've seen? Maybe other people haven't, but they feel like good old school classics to us. Gina, I'm gonna defer to you first on this one.
All right. You want a list or you want to just do
I mean,
Go
one?
you
around the table.
yeah, let's do round robin. Give me one and give me a reason for it, where people can find it, and we'll kind of go around.
So, I got back into Disney Plus today just to watch the Pirates of the Caribbean. Like,
Mm,
watch those all over. Somebody made a TikTok where is a makeup TikTok, and he transformed himself into Jack Sparrow on the camera, and just seeing Jack Sparrow made me feel better. So I had to
that's what's
go.
up.
Yeah, went and got back into that today.
That's what's up. Did you watch all of them?
I only got through one, and then I had to go, handle business and stuff. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting right back to it as soon as we're done.
I dig that. I dig that. We holding you up. All right. All right. Jokes. What you got?
One of my favorite movies, Scarface.
Ooh.
Um, and for me, a couple of different avenues for this one. Like, I actually found out like when I was in like my late teens, getting ready to go into the 20s, it was actually my dad's favorite movie. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you've met my dad at some point in time. Like when my
Mm-hmm.
dad told me that Scarface was his favorite movie, that was the most weirdest, craziest thing I think I ever heard my dad say before. And I
Yeah.
was just like, I was like, whoa, Dad, you like Scarface? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's my movie. And I was just like, oh, really?
Yeah.
And it's like that's just one of those movies. So it had a lot of different elements. Whether there was some funny moments, there was some absolutely crazy moments that happened in Scarface. It's one of those. Of course, Al Pacino. I mean, dude does so many amazing things that he's been in.
Yeah.
But Scarface is a staple in movie history that I would say if you're old enough, you should definitely go take a watch if you haven't watched Scarface yet.
Are you what is that on? Is that on Netflix?
I think at one point it was on Netflix. I have DVD and Blu-ray, but I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix.
I dig that. I mean, not to get too deep, but I mean, again, another reason to kind of go back and watch stuff. I know, you lost your father. Is that
Mm.
kind of a way for you to kind of reconnect or
That's
feel.
that's definitely a way to feel to know, because when we finally watched the movie together, it was pretty interesting. So that's one of those things that I can watch and just be like, yeah, that was a good time with dads. Good
That's
time.
what's up.
Did
That's
he
what's
ever
up.
say why that was his favorite movie?
He never gave me a straightforward answer. Like, it was like,
Mm.
Dad, why did you like Scarface? He's just like, I like it. Because
That's it.
and it was just
Done.
like, I just took that as the answer, but I never got a solid, it was the violence, it was just the story part of it. Like, I never got that actual answer, but I was cool with, I love it. And I was
Yeah.
just like, let's stick with it. Like, and
That's such a revealing favorite movie. Like,
I think
not
so
to
too.
be too off subject, but back in like 06, I had the Air Force Ones with Scarface as like the Nike swoosh or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's a lifestyle. So your father probably didn't give you a straightforward answer for a
I
reason.
don't think so either.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of those, I'm happy that kind of have to this day to kind of wonder what was really the reason that you like Scarface.
Because that joint was so gangster. That's what that comes down to. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna give you a second to go, Sam, but listen to me. Jessica Jones season 1
Knew that was coming somewhere
on Netflix. Bro, that joint is so good. I again watching it the first time around, it makes me anxious. I love a good suspense, like I love a good psychological thriller. I don't think there's anything that equates to that show in film or TV in the way that villain is so villainous. Like, just what Purple Man, what David Tennant does with that villain is like, man, he's so evil, but you also feel like you begin to start to feel him almost in the same way you felt Killmonger in Black Panther. Like, there's a certain amount of like, you can actually feel sorry for him, as terrible as he is. So that show is one that I think a lot of people just managed to miss, because Jessica Jones, even as a Marvel character, is so under the radar. And yeah, I still think that's the best of the Marvel Netflix shows.
That's crazy. The last time I heard of Jessica Jones was a couple days ago. Somebody brought up the question, who's the poorest in the hero in the Marvel universe, and somebody said Jessica Jones has 1.5 outfits. So that's the last time I saw.
That's some facts though. Jeans, a t-shirt, and leather jacket. Call it a day.
I might have to go back and watch.
Sometimes jacket on, sometimes jacket off.
Yeah, if you watch that, it's so. Again, I really love anything that's super cerebral, kind of makes you think, and you have to piece things together. So kind of the mystery of it, the thriller of it, just all of it is it's so good, so good. Sin.
I'm gonna go with Scrubs. Nice throwback. That was the show that got me into American television. Like,
yeah,
okay, I've been listening to all these shows all these years. This one's really good, but no, it's a great balance of comedy and seriousness. Like, it's a phenomenal cast. Like, all the seasons are right now on Hulu, so you can go right there and watch it all from beginning to end. Like, it's a great binge pick. Like, I would recommend Scrubs. Yeah,
no doubt. Donald Faison.
Yes.
At arguably his best. That is
included. Yes.
Yes. That's good stuff. All right, let's go again, Gina.
All right. So my what I watch on repeat, and you're probably gonna feel like I'm giving you a super mainstream answer, but I watch Rick and Morty. Like,
hey,
we know another person like that. We know.
I'm not mad at that.
Not at all.
I'm not mad at that.
It's such a good show that every time I watch it, and I've watched every episode about 100 times, like, there's still parts where I'm like, I've never seen this before. Granted, my attention span, I just told you, I watched Toy Story 4 probably 10 times. Had no idea that it was sad. So my attention span for TV is so short. But yeah.
Do you watch it edited or unedited when you watch it?
Which one?
Rick and Morty.
I don't want to tell you how I've been watching it, but whatever is available on how I've been watching it.
Do they curse in it? Or is it bleeped out?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You got the good one. Okay.
She's like, yeah, I'm getting that full experience. Parental advisory joint.
Yep.
Yeah. I have not gotten into Rick and Morty. I haven't
Love it.
allowed myself to.
Love
And I think it's just because it's so zeitgeist and it feels so bandwagon that I just haven't jumped on because everybody's already on it. So
Yeah.
that's one of those ones I know I'm gonna be late to the party, and it's like I'm
Same
okay
here.
with that.
Same here.
I
I've been
I
on and
respect
off.
it. I know that it's good. I have watched it before, but I just
Not to,
can't bring myself to like sit and just
it.
binge it or whatever. Like it's just not.
not to be a hipster, but I've always liked Adult Swim just because you can turn it on in the background. You don't have to follow it.
Yep.
So
That's some
I was one of
facts.
the first people to find Rick and Morty, and I remember thinking, because I question myself with the stuff I think is funny at this point, and I'm like, is it just me or is this show hilarious? And it was maybe the third episode ever, and I started telling my friends and things. And then, of course, it got its horrible fandom. Well, I don't say horrible, but awesome fandom that's super famous for all the right things.
Yeah, Szechuan sauce.
Mm.
Yeah.
Szechuan sauce.
Mm.
I feel you. That's the way I feel about Mike Tyson Mysteries. That joint should not be funny. I'd be
What?
crying watching Mike Tyson Mysteries.
What is Mike Tyson?
Look at your face. See, that's what I'm talking. That's an Adult Swim. Man, that joint's a
Yeah.
few years old.
Yeah, but
You
that
ain't never seen Mike Tyson Mysteries. Man, that show is it's I'm just gonna jump the gun now because it's very C Lab 2021. Like it's very C Lab.
Ooh,
See,
man.
like, that's a classic.
Hey, look, they just put the
That was-
whole first season of C Lab on Amazon Prime.
Uh-oh.
Bruh.
I will watch C Lab back to back.
Bruh.
Now I gotta go watch
Mike
my
Tyson Mysteries is like picture Scooby Doo, but it's Mike Tyson. Like
That's a
it's
good one.
so dumb. It's so dumb. Like it's him and a fake Velma who's an Asian girl who's supposed to be his daughter but isn't, a pigeon that can talk, a ghost. Yo, that show is so dumb.
You
It's
can't make this
absolutely
stuff up.
hilarious. Absolutely
watch-
hilarious.
I'm not even watching Pirates anymore. I'm about to just go and watch that tonight.
I'm trying to tell you, Mike Tyson Mysteries. My man be knocking people out. He be so mad we don't get to punch somebody. Yo, anyway. Jokes, what you got?
Next thing on my list, of course, you guys know I'm a huge wrestling fan. So
Yes.
definitely going back and watching, like say, a lot of the WrestleManias. That's one of those things, especially if you're a wrestling fan now and you haven't seen where somehow like things have developed and where it's come from in the past. It's always a good thing to go back and watch some of these WrestleManias. Like I got a couple favorites. Like one's kind of a cop out. Like 29 is one of my favorites just because I got to go to it. So that's one of my favorites because I got to go to WrestleMania.
That's
But
fair.
like WrestleMania 19, you know, seeing like Stone Cold and The Rock for like really the last time. Like this was the last singles match before The Rock decided to go off into Hollywood and do his thing over there. Like these two guys were at their prime and just throwing down. And you know, even taking it back further, you know, seeing like Shawn Michaels in his prime, you know, Bret Hart, seeing those type of matches go down. It's one of those things that I can always go back and watch. Seeing the first TLC match by far is the best between the first one and the second one. Great memories from wrestling. Of course, you guys, I know you watched wrestling long before I was a wrestling fan, so there's definitely memories.
Like that.
Hey, no, that was a jab.
Hey, you always
jab. You heard that?
Hey, look, you always throw it in the opposite way, so I got to throw it in vice versa once in a while for it.
That's
It
cool.
made y'all sound
But-
so old.
Right.
He
But,
did, didn't he?
Hey, like Greg just
Hey,
chimed
look,
in. And
he
was
jumped
like,
on that y'all bandwagon real quick too, man.
hey,
He made y'all.
Yeah.
hey, y'all know it. But like
I'm the
Greg,
same age as him.
I know.
but like Greg just jumped in and was like the Attitude Era was phenomenal. Like there was some great moments during Attitude. Like I can't like it would
Anything DX, man.
Woo!
See?
If I
That's
could,
that flair right there. Woo, that's it.
I
You
would
already know.
sit and just watch like Raws from the Attitude Era. It's too many episodes to just go back and start watching those all over again. But there's definitely some moments in Raw history that's worth going back and taking a look at.
No doubt. No doubt. I already said C-Lab, so I'm going back to you, Sin.
All right, fair enough. Westworld season 1. Freaking brilliant, amazing. Like that cerebralness you talked about, like with Jessica Jones, how you like that type of stuff. That is so season 1. Like I remembered as soon as I watched the first one, because I watched the first two back to back, so I wanted to give it some space so I have enough stuff to watch. But the second it was over, this is probably the first show I've ever watched where I wanted to watch the first season again instantly once it ended. If I didn't have season 2, I just would have started season 1 because now that I've seen it, your third eye's open. So now you're looking at it. So now I'm revisiting it. I'm seeing everything different now. Like, oh, so this one was going on right here, and this at the third, put it all together. Like, it's such a brilliant act. Like, the acting's great. The story is amazing. Like, Westworld season 1, hands down.
Okay, that's comfort food.
Yeah,
makes you feel good.
Yes, I'm she's answering to go back to her. I'm answering to get back to Westworld right now.
My man,
Yeah.
my man said that's that Monsters Ball feel good. I mean, feel good. That joint. That joint. You don't know about that, Jokes? You too young for that.
That was. I knew it was gonna come. I didn't know it was gonna come that quick.
Hey, listen.
Continue.
Whoa. We never do that. Okay. Does anybody have anything else that they just want to throw out there as a good, like, you've seen it, you love it, you're comfortable? I got a whole list. I just want to know if anybody has anything else they want to throw out there.
Hey, I was like, I'll throw one out. Go ahead. You can go first.
Oh, sorry.
No, you good.
Orphan Black on Amazon Prime is really good. And that's a deep cut for a lot of people. It's really good. And then this is a terrible idea for most people, but I've been having fun with just recommending people to go back and watch Game of Thrones to relive the disappointment all over again.
Sin. I was like,
stop it, season 6.
I'm one of the people that wasn't mad at the ending, so.
Hey, listen, I only ever watched the first episode. Y'all already know how that went.
I haven't got out of season 2.
I'm out.
I haven't got out of season 2.
Predictable.
Yeah, like I'm just one of them people, like I watch a lot of stuff, and so like if I can predict what's gonna, my mother hates it. I do this to her all the time. Like I walk in while she's watching, like she'll be watching like Law and Order or I don't know, anything like that. And I'll be in there for maybe 10 minutes. The show's like maybe halfway done, and I'll be like, oh, Slim did it. And Slim did it because of this, and this. And she'll be like, how do you know that? And it'll be episodes she's seen already. So she knows I'm right. And she'll just be like, what? And I like Game of Thrones was the same way. Like the minute that little boy was like, the minute she told that little boy, man, don't be climbing on that wall. You're gonna fall, you're gonna hurt yourself.
I did see that one.
He about to fall. He coming off that wall as a wrap. Like it's going down.
But let me be real. Let me be real though.
You gotta give it some more. I'll say that.
I just haven't taken time to watch, but from going from season 1 into season 2, like that completely destroyed my mind. Like
it did everybody's when we watched.
So I said to myself, I was gonna watch that, and I just fell off. I don't know what happened. Like after that third or fourth episode of season 2, but I just stopped watching. I don't know.
I respect that.
There are parts in that series that are completely unpredictable. Like even you, I would challenge you. Even you couldn't predict the Red Wedding. You can't predict it. You don't see it coming.
she just threw the gauntlet at me.
If you have not you, Gage,
you can't do it. All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm with that. Jokes, what were you gonna say?
Yo, the only thing, one of the things, just stupid funny stuff. I gotta say it that way. Stupid funny. Talladega Nights is by far is one of my favorite Will Ferrell movies. Just like it's just pure stupidity and funniness just rolled into one package. Like I'm sorry, stabbing yourself in the leg with a knife, to put the invisible fire out. Like it's one of those movies I can just watch and I will still laugh my ass every single time I watch it.
Mark is asking what's the topic. The topic is stuff that we could watch, that's from in quarantine. That's something we've already seen before, not necessarily something brand new.
Yeah,
like comfort food type of stuff to watch.
Yeah, man. Look, I don't know if y'all ever seen Killers with Ashton Kutcher.
Nah, I know it, but I haven't seen it.
Hey, Slim, listen, that joint should not be a good movie. That joint is a good movie. It's like he like a secret agent. But like Katherine Heigl is his wife, she don't know he's a secret agent. Then she finds out he's a secret agent. She gotta be a secret agent with him. Dog, that joint is hilarious. I don't like Ashton Kutcher like that. Like he's okay. Like I like Kelso. I don't necessarily like Ashton Kutcher. Like that 70s show Kelso, that's my guy. Hilarious. That movie, totally worth it. That's on Amazon Prime. Listen, if you ain't ever seen Luther.
Yes, Luther.
I'm talking about them cerebral, like kind of like just.
That's your thing.
Ooh, Luther, man, that joint, classic. That joint is all. It was on Netflix at one point. It's not anymore, but it's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
That joint is
I
dope.
always go past that, like you the one that brought it up to me, like
It's only like 6 episodes.
yeah.
The episodes are like 2 hours long.
Yeah,
Don't
but I'm
let
just
him
saying,
rest.
like,
Okay.
you right.
But it's only 6 episodes.
No, honestly, I didn't know that the episodes were that long. I was like, 6 episodes. I'll get to it one day. I didn't know they were.
Yeah, nah. I mean, no. It's basically like watching 12 episodes. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
So
But
good though.
yeah, that joint is crazy. And then look, X-Men '92. So I was going through Disney Plus, man, and I seen the Princess Bride, and then X-Men '92, man. I'm just like, I'm all in. I'm all in. Like those are just like classics. Like I can watch those old. I can watch the Princess Bride again. I don't have to look at it. Like I can just hear what's
Let it
happening.
run.
I know what's going on. And I'll be real with y'all. If I could have found Robin Hood Men in Tights on something, that joint would have been in this list. I don't know where it is. I don't think anybody's streaming that joint. Maybe I just missed it.
Okay.
But listen, that's old classic Dave Chappelle, Carrie Elways at his best.
Yeah.
Saying you got an honorable mention at all? Or you want to move on?
Come on, let me throw the obvious one out there. One Piece.
I knew that was going to come. Sir, you about to
I
send
know.
someone.
I actually wasn't going to say that, but I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I was going to say
Where is One Piece streamable? Crunchyroll?
yeah.
Mhm.
It's about to be on the first.
Crunchyroll, Funimation.
Yeah.
I believe it's on Netflix. I think the early seasons, if I remember right.
In
I
June.
can say, hey Slim, you lying. You got a VPN and you on
Or-
Japanese Netflix.
No, on the Netflix in June.
June, yeah.
Yeah,
The first 2 arcs. Yeah.
I dig that.
East Blue and Alabasta
Mm.
on the Netflix.
Yeah,
I'm with that.
That's a whole man. You about to set someone like, don't watch anything else. Like you gonna sit here and consume all 900 and where are we at now? 970, 980?
It's too many episodes.
No, I don't think we're that high. In the we're in the 900s.
You might get out of quarantine and not finish One Piece. That's too many episodes.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
It all depends on when it hooks you. When it hooks you.
I started rewatching My Girlfriend is Show Bitch. That joint's dumb,
Wait,
yo.
What?
What?
What is
I'll put you on. My Girlfriend is Show Bitch. Listen. Trust me, it's a real thing.
Oh god,
That's old anime.
just send
That
that
ain't
in
new.
the message later. I'm about to pull that one
It's
up.
on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime.
I've
joint-
watched
It's out of control.
I've watched Hobbs and Shaw like 20 times since we
One
been in
Piece?
quarantine.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. How hard are you laughing at the
I
Hobbs
don't
and
like
Shaw?
the Fast and the Furious like franchise like that or anything, but that
Me
movie
neither.
is surprisingly funny. Not as funny as like a straightforward comedy movie. But if you feel like you need a break from your feelings and you don't want to think too heavy, that's definitely something you could just watch. And I'm not saying it because of the guys or anything like that. I'm just
Right.
genuinely funny.
Like the movie.
Yeah.
I dig that. I respect that. So look, we're gonna shut down in like 20 minutes, but I want to touch on some of this news, man. So Stars, did y'all see this? Stars is suing MGM over their licensing agreements.
I saw it, and I kind of just breezed over it. I'm just like,
Hey,
everybody about to be at each other's throats now.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Listen, and here's the only reason why I bring it up is because the discussion we had last week
Mm-hmm.
about movie theaters and them wanting their window, you know what I mean, before stuff goes to video on demand and all that kind of stuff. I think this kind of falls right along suit with that kind of thing because streaming services are already an issue and they're going to continue to be a big issue as
Absolutely.
everybody's fighting to get that $15 per month from you, whether you are Peacock or your HBO Max or your Netflix or your Disney Plus or Vudu or whoever else,
Wherever.
right? It's not like YouTube don't have a subscription service for their streaming platform. So I was just kind of looking into it because and I was trying to figure out whether or not Stars stuff is included with HBO Max or not, and it doesn't look like it is. But apparently, Stars did a deal with MGM back in like 2013 2013 and 2015, and they paid them like $70 million, right? To license, according to this, 585 movies and 176 TV shows.
Whew.
Okay.
And since that time, I mean, I guess Stars ain't really been doing their homework, but apparently the whole time,
I
other
saw
networks and stuff been running these movies that they got the licenses to, right? So somebody looked into it and was like, hold tight. Something ain't right. And it probably only happened because they was stuck at home.
Yep.
With
Sitting
nothing
there
else to
watching.
do.
Why is this on this channel? Hold up.
Yeah. Like, so I'm going to just read part of this article because it says, according to the suit, this is on Variety. According to the suit, the issue came to light late last August when the Stars employee noticed that Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, also a good throwback movie if you haven't watched that, was available on Amazon Prime. Speaking of Amazon Prime, the film was supposed to be airing exclusively on Stars.
Whoopsie.
All right. So Stars complained to MGM, and after some back and forth, MGM ultimately admitted in November that it had allowed 244 films and TV shows that were licensed to Stars to run on other platforms.
Yeah, it ain't just that one.
Right.
We might as well just get it all
Yeah,
out.
right.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna be real here, guys, yeah. So it was more than one. Were we talking 5?
Yeah, with 5?
Right. Right.
10?
100 plus.
240 something?
It even says that some of them ran on Epics, which is MGM's platform,
Yeah.
right? So you can't own the licenses to something and lease those licenses to somebody else and not know that you're running them on your own platform. Bruh.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. So, basically it turned out that, I mean, this is supposed to be like, this is James Bond stuff, Terminator, Thelma and Louise, Raging Bull. It's a bunch of stuff, man. It's a bunch of stuff. But apparently it's still happening. Like, it hasn't stopped.
It's gonna keep going.
You haven't taken a pill yet?
It's gonna keep going.
Yeah. So now here's where it gets a little funny. So in the lawsuit, Stars alleges that MGM's conduct has harmed Stars in the eyes of consumers and distributors and has caused at least one major distributor to question Stars' value and significantly damage Stars' relationship with that distributor. So what that basically means is if you are Dish Network, DirecTV, Comcast, Cox, somebody that offers these premium channels to people, you know, they always go through these things every couple of years when these agreements are over where it's like, well, it's not really worth for us to pick it up. So I don't know if you've ever been through it, but like your cable provider sometimes will send you a thing saying, hey, this channel is no longer available or we don't whatever. And that usually is just because the behind the scenes dealings or whatever have said it's not worth it for us as a provider to continue to pay you to be on our service. Like we don't really need your channel. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. And so apparently somebody looked at Stars and was like, y'all don't really have any content that can't be gotten somewhere else. So it's not worth it. Now, I don't know about y'all. For a long time, for me anyway, Stars was one of the only places, as far as like premium channels were concerned with cable, where you could really get like black films. Like a lot of like Stars was almost like the black HBO in a way. Like there was a lot of stuff you just couldn't see or get anywhere else, it seemed like. Now, I don't know what they were doing to make those deals or whatever, but that's how it seemed. And Stars has multiple channels, just like HBO has multiple channels and, you know, whatever. But I guess maybe somebody decided that like $12 a month that people pay to have them wasn't worth it.
Quite worth it.
So they, you know, they're saying that that's an issue. So I think that this is the kind of thing that I think is going to continue to happen, especially as we get deeper into these streaming services. And again, they are vying to get your dollars, right? So the amount of money that was spent
content back in their house.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you want to watch South Park, there's only one place where you can do it. If you want to watch Friends, it's not on Netflix anymore. You know what I mean? It's going to be on Peacock. Like they are But a lot of those companies control those products. You know what I mean? South Park is not necessarily one that's controlled in that same way.
Right.
But there's a lot of that that's happening. There are a lot of those deals that are happening behind closed doors, on top of the tables, where things are being signed in order for them to try to have reasons to entice you to spend your money on one service or the other. So I already have Netflix and Disney Plus and Amazon. I don't do Hulu, but I'm considering it mostly because of Disney and Fox stuff, but
Gotcha.
I'm considering it. You got HBO Max getting ready to come out. You got Peacock coming out. So when you start looking at all, I mean, it's almost like going, you might as well pay for cable. It's almost kind of like where
It's
it's
the
going
whole
back
point
to.
of getting rid of cable.
Sure. Gina, do you have, what kind of streaming services do you have? What do you pay for? You got it all?
I have Netflix. I have Hulu without the ads.
Okay.
My daughter pays for Disney Plus.
Okay.
We have Amazon Prime with Stars and HBO. We have Crunchyroll. I think that I have Apple TV,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's it that I pay for.
Okay. So now with like HBO Max coming,
Mm-hmm.
well, you already have HBO though. You have the HBO. What do you have? HBO Now?
No, through Amazon Prime, I have Stars and HBO
Oh,
added
you got
on.
those
The
channels
actual
now.
add-on.
I
Yeah,
got
it's
you.
like $15 a month or whatever.
Which is basically the same thing as what HBO Max is, but I don't know if all the same content will be included in that. So that's a thing to consider. Because right now, one of the other things I wanted to get to is that like HBO Max right now is supposed to be $15 a month, but if you pre-order it, like if you get it now, it's like $11.99 a month.
11.99. Mm-hmm.
But you do have to sign up for a full year. So you just pay for it up front and it's done, which isn't terrible. That's what I did with Disney Plus. I mean,
Same.
I'm not getting that monthly thing. Well, you pay for like 3 years in
I
advance.
played 3 years.
You know,
Disney
that's a
got
little
my
different.
they got my money.
Yeah, they got you good, bro.
They got
Yeah,
my money.
but you're only paying like $3 a month or something like that, $3 or
Something like
$4
that.
a
It's
month.
something way cheaper than what it would be if you
Yeah,
just did the
nah, that's a
normal.
good deal. I mean, it's like half price because it's $7 a month. Outside of that, $70 for the year or something like that. Um, then Peacock's coming out, which again is supposed to be like another $15 a month.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What is it gonna take? Is there something specific that stands out to any one of y'all that would be like, oh, they got that? I have to have it.
It was just Disney Plus with all the stuff to come, but nothing that I need to watch
Yeah.
right now. It's always
Um,
coming down the pipeline for me.
Sure.
when Game of Thrones was still running, then I would pick up and put down my HBO subscription, depending on what shows were out.
Right.
But off the top of my head, the only thing that I've sought out that I have paid for deliberately was Rick and Morty. So if the creators of that or the owners wiped them from the face of the earth and wanted to charge $20 for, they would have my $20.
You would chase that down.
That's
Yeah,
dumb. That's dumb right there.
That's interesting.
Hey,
that's
Would
fine.
you? Well, let me ask you this: the seasons for Rick and Morty are available for you to download and have through various platforms. Like you could just go, like I do a lot of that stuff through like my Xbox, right? So like I just go in, like I pay for Steven Universe. I just bought like all 7 seasons. Like just give me the seasons and let me be done with it, right? So it's not like I'm not paying a streaming service to get them. Because when you have something that's in a streaming service, they can always take it away, right? Like you don't know
Yep.
necessarily how long those deals are for. You know what I mean? And just like for a lot of people with Netflix, like stuff comes and goes. You know what I mean? Like it's there one day and then you go back to look for it and your my list has changed because it's not there anymore. Kind of like Friends is gone now. Would it be easier or make more sense for you to just spend the money and just buy
Just
all
buy
of
the
the Rick and Morty?
Yeah, like I was hyperbolizing there, but for example, season 4, which is they're still releasing the last portion of the season.
Mm-hmm.
The only place I could find that was on YouTube, and you had to buy it. So I think I spent like $22 or something for the season, and it comes with extras and stuff. But
Right.
in that scenario, it definitely does make a lot more sense. With something like Game of Thrones, where I realized that the show fell off in the last 3 seasons, I'm glad I didn't pay for those seasons outright. It can stay wherever HBO puts them.
You like whatever you can have it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, I dig that. I mean, I generally only pay for the seasons that already exist. You know what I mean? Like I have to know. So like I didn't actually buy when I bought the first season of Steven Universe, they were on like season 3 or 4 or something
Mm.
like that. And then I kind of kept up with it off and on, but I really enjoyed the show. And so eventually I was just like, there was a sale or something. And so I bought
And just yeah.
all of them. But you know, you can basically get like a season pass for a show. I've done it before. I did it with Archer at one point. That's a classic, bruh.
Yeah.
Archer
I need to get
got some moments.
watch it. I've only seen the first 2 or 3 seasons.
Woo! That joint got some winners. But yeah, I mean, I guess now it's just at that place where you have to decide, like, do I want to spend the money and can I access it everywhere? Like if you buy stuff like that through say Apple TV and you have an iPhone and an Apple TV and an iPad and whatever, and you can just watch them wherever you are on whatever device you have, that makes it maybe better than if you buy it on something else and you don't necessarily have that access everywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot more of that kind of stuff is going to come into play, but I do think again that, man, look, the cloud is going to start playing a bigger part in that kind of thing too. And while these streaming services are a thing, I think that if they can find a way to monetize purchases from you, that you get and you can carry with you, they absolutely will. I do it with Movies Anywhere.
Same.
Like Movies Anywhere is I have the service. You don't pay for the service directly. Like I have an account with them, but then like when I buy movies and TV shows, mostly movies, through other services, they automatically still show up in Movies Anywhere.
Pretty
And
much
so
watch it any place.
yeah, you can just kind of pull them up, and it doesn't work with everything. There are certain, like I think certain Paramount movies don't work there because they haven't worked those licensing deals.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that again is just one of those things where it's like all that stuff's gonna get caught up in legality, man. It's gonna make it, I think, harder for the consumer when you're trying to consider where you're gonna spend your money monthly to have access to it. And you can only watch but so much. And I also think it comes down to like right now, one of the things I like about Disney Plus is for that price, which is a phenomenal price for what the content is, you get 7 accounts. So everybody can have, you know, for most households, 7 accounts is more than enough.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can have their own watch list, mark their own stuff, and you can have like up to 4 people using it at any one given time. I need to see what HBO Max is giving you. If they're just telling you it's $15 a month, you're the only person who can watch it. You're the only person who has an account,
Right.
you know, whatever. That maybe doesn't work or isn't worth it in the same way that something else is, like Netflix. I pay $15 a month so I can have the 4K. I don't need that on every TV, but I need to be able to watch it on multiple TVs because there's always somebody in the house watching it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another factor in where I choose to spend my dollars. And I just think that you know, I think that matters.
It's not just about the catalog; it's about what comes with the service. What else you get?
Correct.
Yeah.
Catalog is one thing. Like obviously, there's certain stuff you want to have, but most of the stuff is going to be in any catalog you can probably buy and just own somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So is it worth it to pay them monthly? I think it depends on what else is coming along with that. Yeah, you know what I mean. You know, like I said, Disney, 7 accounts. I mean, that's more than I get. I think I have 5 accounts with. Like 5 separate accounts with Netflix, and 4 viewing. Same thing as but it costs more. And Disney has 4K stuff too.
Yep.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They don't have the violence. They don't have the violence.
They do not.
Netflix has that violence I need, man. Their kung fu lineup is pretty solid right now.
Hey.
So listen, it's about time to wrap this up. We had a pretty good time, pretty decent discussion, I would say. Did y'all have a good time?
Great. Absolutely.
We had a great time.
Awesome. Gina, you gonna come back and join us another time?
Yes,
sometime?
Please. Anytime.
In the future? We'd love to have you on. Listen, I don't know if you want people to follow you, but if you wanted people to follow you, I know how that can be.
You can find me on Instagram or Twitter. My name is LikeOkShure. So LikeOkayShure. I don't post that much on Instagram. I'll probably get to my stories a little bit more. On Twitter, I post a lot. Probably too much.
There's no such thing as too much. You know, it's there forever for anybody who wants to see it. You know what I mean?
True.
Greatly appreciate you joining us today. It was awesome. I want to thank everybody who's watching. Who's in the? I know there's people in the chat, so just shout a couple people out. I can't see the chat right now.
We got Greg Richardson in the chat.
G.
William Banks in the chat.
Banks.
Brandon Bethel in the chat.
B.
Marcus Houston in the chat.
Yeah. Not the naked Marcus Houston.
No.
The other Marcus Houston.
I hope not.
It's not. It's not.
But no, we got a few people in the chat. Yeah, commenting and talking and stuff.
Straight up. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hey, look, we're going to go live again tomorrow for cutscenes. So we're going to talk video games and all that tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Same time, 8 o'clock. That's going to be a doozy. There's a lot happening there. And then we're going to go live again on Thursday morning for the Inside Xbox showcase, where they're going to be showing some first gameplay footage for the Xbox Series X. So we're going to break the rules and go live in the morning and watch and react to that live. So feel free to tune into that. We'll talk about that again when we get the cutscenes tomorrow. Listen, I hope everybody's staying safe. Stay home if you can. With that, we're out. Let's shut them down. Toodles and Loos.
Shut down.
What it do, snackers and snackettes? Did you like what you just saw? Would you like to help us grow? Here's what you can do. Shoot over to patreon.com/loading snacks. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform of choice. Appreciate you.